Hello. Yes. At the end of the day, I'm here to teach you how to win fights. And this is the most comprehensive fight strategy video you'll probably ever see. See, this one actually takes into consideration the legal system. Now, we have two goals in this video. One is to win the fight quickly with a knockout, and two is to do so without any legal consequences. Even if you win the fight, but you end up in a squad car before the end of the day, you're losing. You're not going to be teaching too much kindergarten with a history of punching people in the face on your record. Step one, when someone gets in your face like this, what you don't want to do is push him. Because number one, that's a assault. You can get arrested just for that. Another thing, I push Greg, he ends up pushing me back, and then I push him, and then he pushes me back, and we end up in this douchebag match, which basically makes us look like the biggest assholes in the world to anyone who's watching, because it looks like two guys who don't want to fight, they just want to sit there and shove each other. Step one in this technique, Greg gets in my face, he's talking all types of shit, I'm going to put my hand on his chest, and I'm going to push myself back. I'm going to repeat that. Move yourself, not the other guy. It keeps the situation from escalating while setting up your game plan. The moment that you push him, he's going to spring into alertness and his guard will no longer be down. The next thing that you want to do is you want to start getting the attention of the people around you. Number one, they're going to be your witnesses when the cops come and pick this dude's ass up off the ground, so you want to make sure that they're aware that it was a self-defense scenario. So I'm going to say something along the lines of, Greg comes at me, I'm going to be like, don't approach me again. If you do, I'm going to hit you. Or, even better than that, Greg approaches me, I'm going to say, I'm starting to feel really threatened. If you come close enough again, I'm going to hit you. That's incredibly important because it makes everyone aware of the fact that it is a self-defense situation and that you feel threatened. Now, I also frequently recommend backing up twice. So you push the guy away once, he's probably going to come back at you. You push him away twice because number one, that looks great if any video cameras happen to be watching. And it's going to give you one more moment to get ready and execute the technique you're about to learn. Okay, the next thing we need to do is blast this idiot in the face twice and with two big power strikes. Now we're going to lead off with a big right hand, and I wouldn't always tell you to come with a big right hand, but in this case the guy doesn't even necessarily know you're fighting yet. So we're going to fire in, driving off the back leg with a right straight left hook. Now the most important part of this is to go at the guy at a 45-degree angle. So without even throwing a punch, if I come in at Greg, wham, I'm moving slightly this way. The reason for that is, if Greg happens to throw a punch at me at the same exact time while I move off on this angle, wow, he misses and I can still spin for my hook. So I end up with an incredibly powerful entry, and it's also simultaneously an incredibly safe entry, which makes it sweet. I have more about that concept in my Angles of Attack video, which is also free on my website. Now the next thing I want to point out is that you want to aim for the chin twice, and you want to make these punches as fast as possible. Boom, boom, causing two really quick concussions to his brain. So there's two ways that I'll typically encourage people to do the footwork on this. Most times I will have people throw the right straight on the right foot step. 1, 2, and then if you're in close enough, boom, you just pivot the left foot. So it ends up being 2 steps and a pivot. Left, right, left, pivot. Left, right, left, pivot. The other way that I typically encourage people to do this is almost like the Fedor combination, where I step and I throw my right cross on my left foot, and then I jump pivot for the left hook. I'll leave it up to you. Either way, it's going to be massively badass, and it's going to be safe as long as you move off on that angle. So look, you just blasted this dude in the face twice, and with 2 big-ass power shots, probably in a public place. So now you really got to take care of the legal issue, and we're going to do that with some crowd influence. So it doesn't matter who saw it or what the hell happened. Go up to the nearest person in the crowd, be like, yo, dude, did you happen to see? Dude, that guy would not back off. It was ridiculous. I told him he was threatening. What the hell, man?
I saw him.
Dude, the guy was threatening me. It was absurd.
I thought he was going to kill you.
You snuff the dude out, you get people involved, you get them on your side, like, yo, I was threatened. Did you see that? I didn't have a choice. And then all of a sudden, the witness stories when the police come just tend to be skewed a little bit in your direction. And that's how you don't go down for the assault charge that you just incurred upon yourself, whether or not the guy deserved it or not. Alright, so knockout, check. No jail time, check. Now you just need to work on it a couple of times. Now in order to practice this thing so that you'll actually fire it when you're in the situation instead of potentially freezing or having any number of things go wrong, you want to practice the entire sequence. You want to give the guy 2 chances, and at the end of the second chance, you're going to fire this combination because that's what you've trained yourself to do. I push myself back, he comes in. I push myself back, as soon as he moves, whack, boom! You can also do the same thing on a heavy bag. It's not going to be quite as interactive, but hey, you got to use your imagination sometimes. The only other thing that you can do to continually make this thing more and more badass is build your combination. So instead of just throwing a right, straight, left hook, you could throw a small sequence of vicious strikes that you've tied together and trained a number of times. A very simple yet powerful addition might be a side clinch with a right knee. So for example, I slide it on Greg, bap, rip the hook, reach out for the side clinch where I just cup over his shoulders, whack, and I drill a knee into his body. So a little bit faster, that ends up being, boom, and I crack him right in the solar plexus with my knee. A right straight left hook and a right roundhouse also works. You could take that up to his dome. You could do whatever you want as long as you practice it and as long as it works.